In today's video, we're going to be reacting to what actually happened to Agent. Now, this video is made by Void, who makes some amazing Fortnite documentaries. I will leave a link to his channel in my description below, and let's get into the video.
What happened to Agent?
Uh-oh.
That's what everyone's asking, because just a month ago they were blowing up, and I even made a video about them.
Yep.
But just 1 month later, it seems like Agent fell apart.
Oh,
so
no.
to understand the truth, I searched through tons of clips, tweets, and comments, and on top of that, I even got to interview the man behind the entire situation.
So this whole thing of it being a buyout or a rebrand, all of that is completely fake.
But first, let's start with what we know. Now, Agent is an esports team that had a Fortnite roster consisting of Bucky FPS, Peterbot, Scented, Ocus, Kwani, and Milks.
Okay.
And of course the
Milks,
Rad,
I don't know who that is.
who I actually interviewed in my first video about Agent. But anyways, this was Agent's base roster, and all these players were on a salary, where they were supposed to be paid monthly. Now, this full roster would be signed for quite a while, with the ESL Team Edition happening a bit after Bucky, Peterbot, and Scented had been signed. Now, that's the absolutely obvious stuff out the way, so now let's look at the Agent drama that's just started happening, which would first be hinted at in this video, where Rad said Agent would be rebranding.
We got a rebrand coming. Whole bunch of other better merch, and then, yeah, y'all gonna see some fire coming in about 4 to 8 weeks. Just give me time, and yeah.
Now, the claim of Agent rebranding really couldn't be further from the truth, as you will soon see in the interview in this video. Anyways, right around the time Rad had posted this vlog, all of the Agent members removed Agent from their Twitter bios, hinting at the fact that something was happening behind the scenes in Agent, and this aligned perfectly with the idea of a rebrand. Then Peterbot tweeted out that he needed a new Twitter banner, causing many people to start to ask what exactly was happening and why all the players were suddenly distancing themselves apart from Agent. But of course, this still aligned with a rebrand. Now, keep in mind, there was absolutely no information out at the time besides Rad stating that he was rebranding. But all of a sudden, everything would change when Scented would post a video on the 22nd of July showing some behind the scenes footage of what was happening that totally shifted the narrative.
Derek, when are you going back to Miami?
Why? Am I next?
Yeah.
I'm standing. Whenever you do business with people, you don't want to get too close to them because like this happens.
So they all been talking, and obviously, long story short, it doesn't make sense to have competition in the house. They all should be here for the conversation with you, obviously.
Losing Peterbot, bro. I lost you and Bucky. It's like,
look at me. He still owes me money.
Oh no.
Ooh.
like, dude negotiated behind my back with another team mid-contract. Who gets paid for that?
We all did.
I'm following the pack, buddy. All my life, I'm following the pack.
Elite esports pack, no paying.
Wait, what?
Then, following this video's release, many people had questions, so Rad had no other choice but to go live on Twitch and try to explain some things. But he still couldn't say what was happening exactly. So then the next day,
I think
Rad
he owes him
released a
like
video on the Agent
40,000
channel titled "Agent Isn't Over, or Is It?", which was quite the cryptic title to say the least. But anyways, the video was basically just a sit-down video with the Agent guys talking about the best memories from Agent. But the video never really said what was truly happening. Although there were some very, very truthful and revealing moments in the video that went under everybody's radar, that you will soon understand in the interview later in this video.
3K rent made me grind, so I just went broke basically.
Yeah, just living with the guys, the boys, or whatever you want to call them.
Just miss Rad and Mega, I guess.
And it would be these exact moments in the video that you will soon realize are the core problems in this entire situation. But then just 4 days later, on the 26th, Exceed, another Fortnite team, would announce on their Twitter that they had signed Agent's entire roster, posting an announcement video to show that the group was still staying together in the exact same house. But it would also be on the same day that Rad would post yet another video on the Agent YouTube channel, breaking down what happened and what would be next for Agent. But in this video, he made some claims that made it seem like all the guys that were in Agent had left Agent for a crazy amount of money and just ditched Rad.
I'm sure you guys have seen that the guys who joined a new team, they were just offered something crazy that they couldn't really reject or deny, which makes sense and it's all good. You know, everybody in the house is signed, the house is fully covered for, and it just kind of makes sense for them right now in the short term, if I'm being honest with you, you know?
Now, this video made it totally seem like the Agent boys had almost just backstabbed Rad in a sense, and had left him all by himself. And not only that,
I've
they
heard
kicked
some
him
other
out of his
things.
own home. And for a bit of time, it seemed like that's exactly what happened. Until a couple days later, when something seemingly unimportant happened on Clix's stream.
Agent?
We play. Well, that's you're not on the org, right? It's not an org anymore. They all left and signed to Exceed.
Wait, they left Rad?
Yeah, dude.
Wait, so he just got like.
I feel so bad.
Wait, so they did.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You know you didn't know.
No, I don't even know the story. I'll be honest. Rad signed them all,
Okay.
put them all in a house together, on the same team,
Uh-huh.
paid them, helped them blow up to more than what they were by doing the content they did,
Okay.
and then they left him to join a new org, and now he has nothing.
That is what happened.
That's
Only
crazy.
in Fortnite. Am I right?
That's low-key f***ed up.
Now, this clip, while it didn't seem very important, reinforced the idea that all the guys in Agent had just left Rad for more money than they had previously with Agent, and people started going after some of the guys in Agent, specifically Bucky. And eventually, Bucky had enough and decided to respond to all of this on his own stream.
I don't know. I'm just pissed that Clicks knows the story and is acting like we're the one who fucked anything over, bro. What Lacey was saying, he put the house together, did all this. I showed up at Peterbot's door. Peterbot's my that's my dog. That's my dog. I love Pete. I showed up at his house and I was like, dude, come live with us. Let's do content. I moved to Mackay at 20 viewers, bro. So I've known the dude for 5 years and I knew he's the most talented motherfucker I've ever met in my entire life. I believe in that dude. I got him in the house. He wasn't an agent. I got him in the house. He was still paying rent. We were all paying rent, but I put the house together. Rad didn't want Scented in the house. He wanted to kick Scented out of the house. I got Scented in the house. I kept Scented in the house. He didn't want Ocus in the house. I kept Ocus in the house. He didn't want Derek to be in the content. I still had to get a way to get Derek in the house. I was the one who put this whole house together. I put the whole house together.
Oh,
I
snap.
planned all the content. I own a percentage of Agent. We weren't profitable. He was in debt way too much money, mainly to me.
Over 50 grand.
Over 50, bro. Like, I mean, we're talking like $50,000-$60,000. We were not gonna ever get out of this hole. He owed me too much money, and we were not making money. We're not profitable with sponsorships. I don't know what was going on the I don't know what was going bad on the back end service, but we were not making money. We were not profitable. I would say
That sounds kinda
everyone in the
sketchy to
house
me.
went negative money wise, besides for probably Pilot. Everyone went negative money wise.
Now, after this stream happened, it left many people confused and questioning what had really happened, because originally it seemed like the guys just got upgraded contracts. But now,
Yeah,
after
what the
Bucky's
heck?
stream, people were beginning to realize
ripping them
that
off,
all
huh?
the players previously in Agent were just trying to escape the financial situation Agent had put them in. And now it seemed like this financial situation was mainly caused by the fact that the players were not paid nearly as much as they should have been, on top of the rent in the house being astronomically high. And the constraints of this financial situation were made clear in Sented's most recent video, where he showed a clip that really didn't look too good for Rad.
It's 2K. I got late, bro. I moved in a month after I had to pay security deposit.
We'd already split the whole security deposit. And then
Brad told me that I had to pay security deposit.
Oh. What? That's not good.
I basically just paid for like Peterbot's rent or something.
or his salary.
I went down to 7K a month and a half.
That's
His
crazy.
bank account. We found another devious lick. No, we found an even more devious lick.
This one's wicked, bro.
So let's say the security deposit is 20K. When we first moved in, we paid the whole 20K. Why 1 month later is he paying 2K for the security deposit?
Whoa, so red pocket.
Oh.
Well, we clearly owed the homeowner money, so thank you for your contribution and taking stress off our back.
That's insane.
So after hearing all of this, I had questions just like so many other people.
Right.
So I went looking for answers, and along the way, I just so happened
Get
to
me
cross
on this.
paths with the owner of Exceed, the team that took over Agent's roster. And luckily, he
What?
was nice enough to hop on a call and explain some stuff to me. And first, I asked him how and why Exceed was able to pick up the entire Agent roster. And I'm gonna keep his responses as uncut and raw as possible.
I'm really good friends with Scented, and I spoke to him about the team, and I let him know everything we're doing, and I think that he found it really interesting, the same way Resin did. And from there, I wish I could tell you, like, I'm guessing they just all spoke between themselves. And I think they realized that Exceed is, you know, the next thing for them as a group. And yeah, you know, they sat down with me one day in a call and they said, hey, listen,
Okay.
we're looking to, you know, obviously leave Agent. We haven't been, you know, paid in a very long time. Rent hasn't been paid in a very long time. I know that, so to clear that up, I know that Rad was paying rent for himself.
Okay.
But obviously, you know, when you own a team and when you say, hey, we're gonna get a team house, the initial thought is that the team would be paying, you know, like,
right.
full rent.
Yeah.
Some of it.
So obviously they haven't been paid for a while. They haven't had like rent fully paid by Agent for a while. And you know, they were really unhappy with that. You know, they felt things were going nowhere in the sense that, you know, they kept getting told like, give me 2 more months, give me 2 more months, give me 2 more months, and nothing eventually you know, just came up, and then they decided to hop in with us. Something to keep in mind is that, you know, I've been speaking to Centum for a really long time, and I know that they gave Agent countless, you know, of chances. That's
Damn,
why, you
dude.
know, as Bucky said in his tweets and
how do you
on his
lose
stream
money
as well,
though?
he's owed a lot of money, or he's spent a lot of money trying to make it work, because he has. And to a point, you know, Bucky was taking all the financial burden, you know, on like to make things just keep going. But you know, at the end of the day, I would probably say it has part to do with the fact that they were unhappy, and part to do with the fact that they really like what you know, Exceed had to offer, mostly because I know Xed was also at the table.
But once you signed all the
Oh,
players,
snap.
how did they
Exit
handle
was at the
it
table?
in the house with Rad? Because obviously, like, conflict of interest.
I mean, so something to take in account with a lot of their contracts. I mean, their contracts were ending anyways, but I don't think their
I like his
contracts
jacket.
were very, like,
Official?
it's still really a thing, mostly because, you know, you're signing a contract with a player, you're agreeing to pay them based on certain things. They were doing what they needed to do and they weren't getting paid.
Right.
So as far as the contracts went,
Damn,
I
that's
mean,
dirty.
I'd probably say they were out the window already. I know that they sat down with Rad and they spoke to him, and that's something that I was always very respectful of. They spoke to him, they explained to him the situation, and then obviously we took it from there. So to be honest with you, I think we had a week and a half, 2 weeks to get the funding to be able to sign the whole roster, which was an insane 2 weeks, by the way. I was up every day till 3 a.m. Slept from 3 a.m. till 6 a.m. and then up from 6 a.m. again.
Dang.
So it was pretty insane 2 weeks, but we made it work once they spoke to Rad. We pretty much didn't do anything until after they spoke to Rad, out of respect for him.
Okay.
And one of the other things as well was Rad wasn't supposed to move out of the house. I know he made a video about this. Rad was supposed to stay in the, you know how Derek has the pool house right now?
Okay.
Rad was supposed to stay in the pool house, and Derek was supposed to take a room in the house. I think Pete wanted to move, or he doesn't want to anymore, but he was supposed to take Rad's room.
Okay.
And then what ended up happening is, you know, like, I just had so many texts from like the ESL team and a couple of the other guys saying that, like, you know, Rad keeps texting them, trying to get them back, and he's making a lot of them feel uncomfortable, and it just wasn't a good situation. So out of respect for, you know, like, my players, I had to get him out of the house. So technically speaking,
that's
Rad
true.
was gonna have a house, I mean a room in the house.
Why would he do that?
Oh,
for free too?
When it just got to it, we had to get him out. I mean, if you were in the same situation, I'm sure you would as well. So that's basically how I ended up telling Rad, hey, listen, you have to be out of the house, because it's just a conflict of interest at that point. Not really because we feel Agent's at that. I don't think Agent is going to be very successful in signing any more players, mostly because of, you know, the true facts that it was a scam.
Oh, man.
But obviously, like, that has nothing to do with me. We'll see what they end up doing, and if someone decides to join, then...
So basically, TJ, the owner of Exceed, had been good friends with Scented for quite a while, and just through talking to him, he had presented the idea of Exceed, and from there, the guys figured it would be the best move for all of them. But of course, this transition couldn't be easy, and they had to deal with complications of conflict of interest, and you guys heard the rest. Anyways, next, I asked TJ what he thought about the videos Scented made that featured behind-the-scenes footage, and naturally, the topic of other videos that were made during this time came up, with TJ also explaining the real truth behind those.
So, to be honest, the first video that Scented put out, I mean, I didn't really have an issue with it. I think they made it a lot more lighthearted than how it actually was, out of
Right.
respect for Rad again, which I didn't have an issue with. The only video I had an issue with was when we announced the guys. Rad put out a video and he's like, oh, you know, the guys found a place for a very short period of time. And, you know, just the way he worded it, I feel like was really disrespectful. And I
Right.
texted him about it, by the way, and he didn't respond to me.
Of course not.
And it's just this thing of like, after the guys announced they were leaving, he did everything in his power to make it seem like it was a buyout or a rebrand. That's why I'm sure you've seen a lot of the comments where people are like, oh, Rad got paid a bag. Rad did not get paid anything from this whole deal.
Dude, that's crazy.
He didn't make anything out of it. And I promise you, the players were not offered more than what they were in Agent, nor did they even want more or even want money at some point to leave Agent. I mean, half of the guys were like, bro, we need rent to be paid and we're good. Like, that's all they cared about, right? Because they need a place to stay. And as you know, when they got the house, their viewership went up by like 4 times, right? So it's like, that's what they cared about. So this whole thing of like it being a
That's
buyout
crazy.
or a rebrand or
So he's just a
buying
liar,
Agent,
dude.
like all of that
Team
shit is
33 all the
completely
way.
fake. And that's just something that Rad came up with to help comfort himself and just help manipulate his audience into thinking that, you know, Agent was not in the wrong when in reality they were. So it's just those things of like saying, oh, like for a short period of time, you know, just those small pieces of like his video that really upset me, in the sense that like even when he was like, oh, you know, yeah, they're kicking me out of the house, they're doing this, and it made me sound like such a shit person, like, oh, how could you kick him out of the house? But people don't understand the what's behind that whole story, right?
Right.
Like, I feel like people need to understand the fact that every single player, like, it's not a case of the players did Rad wrong and he helped them do everything up until now. They still respect what he did, and
Right.
so do I. But it's about the true facts that he did not uphold his end of, you know, the deal. And, you know, the players already tried to make Agent work. Have you ever heard of players joining an org, putting in their own money to help it work, and then still doing content for them?
No.
I personally never heard anything.
That's
like
not
that.
a real thing.
As well as just the fact that, just so you guys know, when Pete won FNCS for the third time or second back to back, right?
Yeah.
Rad posted on the Agent page 3 times FNCS, right? He also barged into Pete's room and filmed the reaction to winning. Until today, he's still posting videos of all of the guys. It's probably like old footage, right?
Right.
He obviously shouldn't be posting footage of the guys because he's still trying to make money off them despite not paying them. So I feel like that's pretty, you know, if we're really gonna look at like
shameless,
good
man.
and bad, I think, you know, the bad's pretty obvious. Like, he had no one's permission to do that. So how do you not pay the players? The players leave your team. You
Right.
still post about them. It carries him over onto 100K. They just hit 100K on their team channel without any players in the team. I can like, I have texts with Scented or Bucky where I said to them, I was like, if Rad needs anything, because I know it's a difficult situation, like, tell him to reach out to me. Even with regards to moving out of the house, I was like, if you need anything, if you need a car, because someone mentioned to me he doesn't have a car. It's like, if you need a car, if you need any help, let me know, text me.
Damn, dude.
And, you know, he obviously never did. So as far as, you know, exceed me and the rest of the players, I think we did everything in our part to make it
A comfortable
as comfortable as
transition.
possible for
There we
him.
go, yeah.
So at this point, I was starting to understand what was really happening this entire time, and it also made me wonder where all the money was going with Agent, because if all these videos were still being posted, it
Right.
only made sense that some revenue was coming out of it. So I explained what I thought about
What is
the
that
Agent
chair?
YouTube, and this is what TJ had to say.
So why was that not at least going towards rent? Like, bro, the players weren't asking for anything unreasonable. They were saying like, okay, cool, you're saying you need time to get the money. Could you just, like, if I didn't have money and I was in his position, I'd say, listen, I have 10 grand.
Yeah.
I know the house costs, I don't know, whatever it costs, but I'll put all my 10 grand up towards the rent, right?
Yeah.
Or, I'll try and give you guys $1,000 each, even though I can't give you this big salary one. I'll give you $1,000. Like, show them you're trying, right? But there was no attempt to do that. And the thing that bothers me, bro, is the fact that till now he still believes that he did not scam the players and that he just needed to ask them for time. But people need to understand the players allowed him to walk away with probably high I'm gonna say high 5 figures in debt. And it was probably more, right? Because now you need to add up salaries and everything, which is not added up. You need to add up rent payments. So it was like he probably walked away with 6 figures in debt wiped.
That's
so
crazy,
this statement
man.
from TJ perfectly aligns with what Bucky had said on his stream when he responded to clicks. And to me, it totally flips the narrative back from Rad being the one who was treated poorly by the agent guys to the agent guys actually being quite considerate about how difficult of a situation this was, despite getting the short end of the stick. And it's an understatement to say that the guys were nice, because they let Rad off on over 6 figures of debt, according to TJ. Now, on top of this massive debt break, the guys in the house also helped Rad build up his own personal brand, and he's even racked up over 20,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and he's also been partnered on Twitch.
That's
just
insane.
From the fact that he was in the house and was so close with guys like Scented and Bucky.
I always say to them, I'm like, listen, you need to understand that if you guys sit down and you tell the story, every single follower he has that's defending him came from your channels.
Right.
Because part of his following is Bucky's following, Cented's following, Auntie's following, Oka's following. It's all of their followings put together, right? Because what happens when you're in a house is like, if they follow me and I'm no longer streaming and Cented's streaming in the next room, they're gonna go watch me on his stream. That's what ended up happening, right? And that's how it all joined together. That's why I'm explaining to them, I'm like, listen, if you guys sit down and you do this, but at the same time,
he stole money from him and stole viewers too, stole community.
To stir up the drama. I just want it to end. The only thing that bothers me till today is that people are still under the impression that we paid Rad a lot of money and he's the one who like it was a smart business move. It wasn't like nothing about it was a business move, right? Which this video clears that up. So as long as people see this video and they take what they want, like I said, I'm not even gonna try to prove it to anyone. I'm not gonna post screenshots or post anything or force the players to talk about it more. But it's like people can watch this video, that way they have both sides to, you know, what happened. They have Rad's video, they have this video, and then I'm good. From here, my focus is creating the content that everyone loves to see, and that was my main focus. That's why every single person who I could sign from what Agent had behind the scenes, something about managers, editors, all of that, I tried to sign them to keep
That's
content. Cool. I'm gonna say the same in the sense that it doesn't drop in quality, but obviously create better, you know, content for everyone.
Sure. Right.
But I tried to keep it as similar as possible and keep that core team. Literally, the only person who's walking away from the table is Rad, and that's because
he could have stayed.
Sure I can speak for a lot of the players in the team. They don't want him to be a part of this project.
So after I asked about exactly what happened with Agent, I got the answers I needed. And I also asked about the future of the Exceed house, because some of you may not know, but all the guys are still in the house, besides for Mega and Rad. So with all the Agent drama behind him, this is exactly what TJ says Exceed has in its future.
I also really want to push for, you know, collaborative like content and getting specific. So I'm actually thinking about leaving the pool house empty, because the pool house is basically a room with a huge like Derek built up the pool house really nicely. I'm thinking about leaving it empty and allowing people who are coming through you know, that area, sort of Texas, to be a part of the content. So for example, if we have people like, let's say we hear something about like Aiden coming through Texas or something like that, you know, we hear about like Kai coming to that area, to allow them to take up that room and the whole pool house in the house and do collaborative content with the guys. So to get those people working around the guys, I feel like would be really big for us. So that is also a plan of mine. So it's about doing all new content that people really enjoy, as well as you know, just trying to be different and give people something entertaining, because I feel like everyone's more tied to the relationship these guys have with each other and their personalities and the actual fact that they play Fortnite.
And to me, it sounded like Exceed is definitely headed down the right path. And I personally am excited to see what
doesn't
they
sound
do.
like he's
Now, I have to give a big thanks to TJ, the owner of Exceed, for doing this interview with me and explaining everything. And hopefully this video helps to clear the air of what really happened with Agent. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe.
Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. And if there's a video you want to see, let me know down in the comments below. Peace.